Welcome, everyone. I'm truly excited to guide you through the enchanting and immersive world of Mind's Eye Theater, specifically focusing on Changeling the Lost. This game is not just any ordinary role playing adventure, it's a journey into the depths of collaborative storytelling, where cautionary tales and the unbelievable intertwine to create a narrative tapestry rich with emotion, conflict, and transformation. Changeling the Lost invites us into a world where imagination reigns supreme, and the boundaries between what's real and what's fantastical blur. As we embark on this quick start guide, prepare to explore not just the rules and gameplay mechanics, but also the heart and soul of what makes Changeling such a uniquely compelling experience. Whether you're new to live action role playing games or a seasoned veteran of the world of darkness, this presentation will provide you with the essential tools and insights to begin your journey into the mysterious and captivating narrative of Changeling the Lost. So let's open the door to a world of lost dreams and found courage and begin our adventure together. As we embark on this magical journey together, it's crucial to have a roadmap to guide us through the mystical twists and turns of Changeling the Lost. Let's take a moment to outline the path we'll be traversing in this video. First, we'll delve into the very foundation of our adventure, live action role playing, or LARP. Here, I'll clarify what LARPing entails, especially within the framework of Mind's Eye Theater. For many of you, this might be a first encounter with such an immersive style of gameplay, where the theater of the mind merges with physical space to create a powerful and interactive storytelling experience. Secondly, we'll transition into the heart of our story, the realm of Changeling the Lost. I'll introduce you to its mesmerizing setting within the broader Chronicle of Darkness. You'll find yourself in a world where fantasy and reality clash, creating a rich backdrop for our tales of lost beings and reclaimed identities. Third, we'll focus on the practical aspects, a low-resolution overview of the character sheet, and the basic rules you'll need to navigate this world. This is where your imagination begins to take shape, defined by abilities, attributes, and the intriguing choices that make your character uniquely yours. Understanding these elements is key to weaving your narrative within the game. Lastly, we're going to light the way forward for you to become an integral part of our LARP narrative, the Lost and Found Radio Hour. Here we'll provide essential information and tips on how you can join, contribute, and enrich our ongoing Changeling the Lost Chronicle. Whether you're an observer, a casual participant, or a fully engaged player, there's a place for everyone in our story. So with our roadmap clearly laid out, let's set forth and explore the enchanting and transformative world of Changeling the Lost. Before we delve deeper into the mystical world of Changeling the Lost, let's first unpack the concept of live action role-playing, or LARP. Imagine a space where storytelling, improvisational theater, and gaming converge. In LARP, players physically portray their characters, acting out their roles within a fictional setting. Unlike traditional tabletop role-playing games, where most action is described and the imagination rules, LARP brings these narratives into the real world through live, interactive performance. LARP is not just about what happens on the stage of our imagination, it's also about what happens between us as players. It's an opportunity to experience, if only for a moment, life as someone else, with all the challenges, triumphs, and adventures that entails. This type of gaming is profoundly immersive, often leading to intense, emotionally resonant experiences. Mind's Eye Theater takes this concept of LARP and elevates it within a structured system, particularly for the Chronicle of Darkness games, including Changeling the Lost. Here are some key aspects of the Mind's Eye Theater system. Narrative focus. At its heart, Mind's Eye Theater emphasizes storytelling. The game mechanics and rules are designed to facilitate narrative development, encouraging players to delve deeply into their characters' psyches, motivations, and backgrounds. Simple mechanics. The system uses streamlined rules and mechanics to keep the game flowing smoothly. This focus on simplicity means less time crunching numbers and more time exploring character interactions and story development. Gesture and symbolism. Unlike traditional LARP, which may rely heavily on physical combat and props, Mind's Eye Theater often uses symbolic gestures to represent actions, like mock fighting or using hand signals to indicate unseen abilities or effects. This method enhances safety and accessibility while maintaining the drama and the tension of conflict. Player agency. A defining feature of Mind's Eye Theater is the degree of player agency. Players have a significant influence over the direction of the story and their character's development. Your choices matter deeply, and they directly shape the evolving narrative. Theatrical immersion. Mind's Eye Theater combines role playing with theatrical elements like costume, dialogue, and dramatic expression, intensifying the immersion and emotional depth of the game. By balancing simplicity in rules with depth in storytelling, Mind's Eye Theater provides a unique platform for creative expression and collaborative storytelling. Now that we have a grasp of what LARP is and how Mind's Eye Theater shapes it, let's dive into the specific enchantments and shadows of Changeling the Lost. Let's step into the shadowed realm of the Chronicle of Darkness, the overarching universe where our story of Changeling the Lost unfolds. Imagine a world akin to our own, yet veiled in darkness and mystery. In this setting, the lines between myth and reality blur, creating a haunting mirror of our world where nightmares and legends take on flesh and blood. The Chronicle of Darkness is a place imbued with hidden terrors and moral complexities, focusing on the personal stories of those who inhabit its eerie landscape. It's a universe where every frightening tale whispered in the dark could very well be true. Transitioning from the broader canvas of the Chronicle of Darkness, we zoom in on the captivating narrative of Changeling the Lost. This game offers a profoundly unique perspective within this world. Here we explore the lives of the lost, ordinary humans who were spirited away to the realm of the Fae, a place of wonder, terror, and bewildering beauty known as Arcadia. These individuals, upon escaping their captors, return to the human world. However, they are no longer the same. Their time in Arcadia has changed them, endowing them with strange powers and often an altered appearance. The core of Changeling the Lost revolves around these changeling struggles to cope with their lost memories, altered selves, and the stark contrast between their haunting past and their present reality. At the heart of this game are themes of identity, memory, and the search for belonging. As a changeling, you are caught between two worlds, the ordinary human society to which you seek to return, and the vivid, often nightmarish memories of the Fey realm. This dual existence is fraught with challenges, as changelings must hide their true nature from humans, while also facing the ever-present danger of being reclaimed by their Fey captors. An essential aspect of changeling society is the formation of courts. These are not just political groups, but are also akin to surrogate families, each aligned with a season and a particular philosophy for dealing with their traumas and threats. The courts provide a framework for changeling interactions, politics, and their collective defense against the Fae. In Changeling the Lost, you, as a player, have the opportunity to craft a character who navigates this complex shadowed world. You forge a path balancing the mundane with the mystical, striving to reconcile your fractured past with a future that you can call your own. Changeling the Lost is more than just a game of fantasy. It's an exploration of what it means to find oneself after being profoundly lost. A journey through darkness in search of a flicker of light. The light of understanding, belonging, and self-discovery. Now, let's turn our focus to one of the most exciting aspects of stepping into the world of Changeling the Lost. Creating your character and understanding the basic rules that breathe life into the game. First up, the character sheet. This is more than just a piece of paper. It's the blueprint of your changeling's identity, abilities, and history. The character sheet helps you track the essential aspects of your character, from their mental and physical attributes to the mystical powers they've gleaned from their time in Arcadia. Attributes are the core characteristics of your character, divided into three categories: mental, physical, and social. Each category has three attributes. Mental is split into intelligence, wits, and resolve. Intelligence measures your character's cognitive abilities, including reasoning, memory, and understanding. It's not just about knowledge, but the capacity to analyze, comprehend complex concepts, and solve problems. Wits assesses your character's quick thinking, reflexes, and the ability to think on their feet. This goes beyond just being smart. It's about rapid assessment, adaptability, and reaction to unexpected situations. Resolve represents your character's determination, focus, and mental fortitude. It's about the ability to concentrate, withstand mental or emotional strain, and stay committed to a course of action despite adversity or distraction. Physical is divided up into strength, dexterity, and stamina. Strength measures your character's physical power and ability to exert force. In a practical sense, it impacts everything from how hard you hit in combat, to your capacity to lift heavy objects, to feats of raw physical might. Dexterity gauges your character's agility, eye hand coordination, and overall physical finesse. It's crucial for tasks requiring precision and grace, such as aiming, picking locks, or moving stealthily. Stamina represents your character's endurance, resilience, and overall health. It influences how long you can exert yourself physically and how well you resist illness, poison, and other physical hardships. Social has presence, manipulation, and composure. Presence measures your character's ability to command attention, exert influence, and impact those around them just by being there. This attribute represents a blend of confidence, allure, and emotional influence. Manipulation assesses your character's aptitude for subtlety, cunning, and the ability to alter perceptions or steer outcomes. This isn't solely about dishonesty. It's about the skillful art of influence and steering conversations or situations to your advantage. Composure is the attribute that reflects your character's ability to remain calm under pressure, keep their emotions in check, and maintain a clear head in stressful situations. It's about emotional stability and the capacity to endure fear, social pressure, or other forms of psychological stress. In summary, attributes form the core of your character's capabilities. Each attribute offers a unique facet to how your character is shaped, behaves, and interacts with the world around them. As we journey through the realms of the mundane and magical, these attributes will guide your actions, influence your interactions, and shape the narrative path of your character. Remember, while the numbers on your character sheet provide a framework, it's your interpretation and portrayal that truly bring your character to life in the rich tapestry of our shared storytelling experience. Skills represent specific competencies and knowledge your character has acquired, like computer, athletics, or empathy. Skills complement your attributes and are crucial in determining how successful you are in various actions. Every skill your character possesses represents specific training, knowledge, or experience they have acquired. However, it's important to note that attempting to use a skill in which your character is untrained isn't just challenging, it incurs a penalty. This mechanic reflects the realistic difficulty of attempting tasks where you have no formal experience or knowledge. As we delve further into how skills interact with attributes in Changeling the Lost, you'll notice that skills are organized into three categories, mirroring the attributes: mental, physical, and social. This categorization helps streamline the gameplay. Generally, when your character attempts an action, you'll combine a skill with an appropriate attribute from the same category, mental, physical, or social, to form what is known as the dice pool. Let's consider an instance where your character might be sneaking through shadows. In this scenario, your storyteller might request a dexterity plus stealth test. If we look at Miss Saffron's character sheet, you'll see that she has 2 dots in dexterity and 3 in stealth. This gives her a total dice pool of 5. However, the situation changes when a character tries something they're untrained in. For unskilled physical and social skills, like in Miss Saffron's attempt at lockpicking without any larceny skill, there's a -1 penalty to the dice pool. So although Saffron has 2 dots in dexterity, the absence of training in larceny and the incurred -1 penalty for being untrained reduces her total dice pool to just 1. But here's a crucial distinction. Untrained mental skills, representing more specialized knowledge or book learning, are significantly more challenging. Attempting an action with an untrained mental skill incurs a steeper -3 penalty to your dice pool. This harsher penalty reflects the difficulty of executing tasks that usually require specific theoretical knowledge or expertise, which cannot be easily improvised. This system of penalties emphasizes the importance of your character's training and acquired skills, directly affecting the actions they can successfully perform. It encourages you to think strategically about your character's development and the roles they might play in the group. Understanding and utilizing your character's skills and acknowledging their limitations is key to navigating the challenges and stories we create together in Changeling the Lost. Let's now turn our focus to 3 distinctive and pivotal aspects of your character in Changeling the Lost: seemings, kiths, and courts. These elements are not just critical for your character's abilities and role within the game, they also richly contribute to their identity backstory, and the very essence of their being in Chronicles of Darkness. Seemings. Think of a seeming as the broad archetype or category your changeling character falls into, a reflection of the kind of experiences they endured in Arcadia, and how these experiences have shaped their return to the mortal world. Seemings include types like beasts, who have been shaped by their feral animalistic experiences, elementals, forged by raw elemental forces, and ogres, defined by brute strength and endurance. Each seeming provides specific bonuses, penalties, and unique abilities shaping your character's skills, their approach to problems, and how they interact with the world and others in the game. Kiths. Within each seeming, there are further subdivisions called kiths. A kith defines more specific traits, experiences, and powers your character gained in Arcadia. For example, a beast might be a broadback, showcasing strength and stubbornness, or a skitterskulk, emphasizing stealth and cunning. Choosing a kith further refines your character's capabilities and adds nuanced layers to their personality and backstory. It influences their innate powers and how they see and are seen in the world of the lost. Courts. Courts in Changeling the Lost are akin to factions or societal groups that changelings align with upon returning to the human world. Courts are primarily based around seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, but can also include others like the day and night courts, each embodying different philosophies and ways of dealing with the lost's emotions, their durance, and the Fae. Your character's court affiliation significantly impacts their social dynamics, alliances, and enemies, as well as granting unique powers and political standing within changeling society. In crafting your character, the choices of seeming, kith, and court are more than mere mechanical decisions. They are foundational to the narrative of who your character is. They dictate how your character has been shaped by their experiences, how they cope with their reality, and how they project themselves into the world and the ongoing saga of the Lost. As you weave these elements into your character's story, think about the journey they've been on, the transformations they've undergone, and the allegiances they now hold. This not only enriches your role-playing experience, but adds depth and complexity to our shared storytelling. Moving on, let's discuss 3 other fundamental components of your character in Changeling the Lost: concept, virtue, and vice. These aspects aren't just about statistics or abilities. They delve into the moral and psychological makeup of your character, guiding your role-playing and decision-making in the game. Concept. The concept is essentially the core idea or archetype your character embodies. It's a brief but evocative description that encapsulates the essence of who your character is. Think of the concept as a summary of your character's past, their profession, or primary role in the story, like a disillusioned detective or a whimsical artist. This isn't just a label, it's a tool to help keep your character's actions and growth consistent with their narrative. It serves as a guiding star for your role-playing, ensuring that your character's actions and development align with their overall story and personality. In the realm of Changeling the Lost, the concept aspect of a character sheet, like Miss Angelique Saffron's, offers a rich narrative and thematic depth. Taking her concept of Harbinger of Spring, let's unpack what this signifies. The title, Harbinger of Spring, derives not just from her name, Saffron, but also from her very nature and the story weaved into her character. Saffron, as you might know, is a precious spice obtained from the Crocus sativus, a flower which is among the first to bloom, marking the transition from winter to spring. Reflecting this, Miss Saffron belongs to the flowering kith, where the imagery of crocuses is vividly embodied, blooming from her hair and blossoming in her trail. This imagery of early spring flowers ties deeply into her role and identity within the Winter Court. As a Winter Court member, her primary concern traditionally lies in concealment and protection, particularly for those changelings adapting to post-Arcadia life. Yet, unlike her typically secretive court peers, Miss Saffron embodies a unique blend of hope and renewal. Her desire isn't just to shield, but to nurture, guiding those under her care towards a hopeful, fulfilling life beyond their traumatic past. The early blooming crocus, a sign of new beginnings and resilience, mirrors her optimism, and her role as a mentor who leads others from the cold shadows of winter into the warmth and rejuvenation of spring. This example shows how a character concept can encapsulate not only their physical characteristics, but their innermost beliefs, roles, and aspirations. It intertwines with every aspect of their being, from the aesthetic and the allegorical to their interactions and personal journey in the game. As you consider your own character's concept, think about how these symbolic and narrative elements can be interlaced to create a persona that is not just compelling in abilities, but also rich in storytelling. Virtue and vice. Virtue and vice are reflective of your character's moral compass and deepest ingrained habits, respectively. They represent the best and worst of your character's personality and are pivotal in driving both roleplay and mechanics. Virtue could be something like charity, faith, or hope, a noble quality that motivates your character to act for the greater good, often providing a sense of fulfillment or redemption. Your character's virtue is what elevates them during trying times, offering strength and clarity. Vice, on the other hand, like wrath, envy, or sloth, represent a more primal, selfish aspect of your character. It's a fundamental flaw or deep-seated habit that can lead them astray, or offer short-term relief or gratification. It's a source of internal conflict and can often complicate interactions and decisions. Both virtue and vice are crucial in understanding or portraying your character's internal struggles and triumphs. They add depth to your character and offer points of both personal weaknesses and strength that can be compellingly explored in the game. Concept, virtue, and vice together frame your character's personality and moral framework. They are key to developing a character with depth, complexity, and relatability. As you make choices based on these aspects, you'll find your character not only growing in the game's narrative, but also becoming a more vivid and memorable part of the story we're all creating. Remember, in Changeling, who your character is as a person is just as important as what they can do. In Changeling, as in life, characters are a blend of strengths and weaknesses, talents and imperfections. This is where merits and flaws come into play, giving depth and complexity to your character. Merits. Merits are special traits or advantages that provide unique abilities, social benefits, or other enhancements to your character. They represent your character's skills, backgrounds, or even supernatural qualities that set them apart. For instance, a merit could be something like striking looks, which makes your character exceptionally attractive, aiding in social interactions. Or it could be hollow, indicating your character has access to a safe haven or a special place in the changeling world. Merits can define your character's backstory, their social networks, and special abilities they've honed or acquired. These are not just bonuses, they are integral parts of your character's identity and story. Flaws. Flaws, on the other hand, are hindrances or challenges that your characters face. They might be physical, social, or psychological. Flaws add layers to your character, providing obstacles to overcome and adding drama and tension to the story. A flaw could be something like notoriety, where your character is widely known for past misdeeds, impacting their interactions with others. Or it could be a physical limitation, like fragile, which makes your character more susceptible to physical harm. Flaws are not just about handicaps. They're opportunities for character growth and storytelling. Overcoming the challenges posed by flaws or dealing with the consequences of these weaknesses can lead to some of the most rewarding and engaging moments in the game. Incorporating merits and flaws into your character design isn't just about balancing powers or creating a mechanically viable character. It's about crafting a narrative. Your choices here should resonate with your character's backstory, their motivations, and the journey you envision for them. As you develop these aspects, think of how they'll impact not just your character's capabilities, but also their personal story, their interactions with others, and the overall narrative of our shared adventure in the Chronicle of Darkness. Remember, in Changeling, every strength has its roots and every vulnerability tells a story. Let's delve into two crucial aspects of Changeling that tie deeply into the lore and gameplay: contracts and pledges. These elements are not just mechanical tools, but narrative devices that add richness and complexity to the game. Contracts. Contracts are supernatural agreements that changelings make with universal forces, drawing upon the mystical power inherent in the world. They are like spells or abilities, manifesting as extraordinary powers that your character can wield. Each contract has its terms and rules, often tied to the character's seeming or court. For instance, a member of the Summer Court might have a contract with the element of fire, allowing them to wield or resist flames. Contracts are both a blessing and a responsibility. They grant remarkable powers, but also bind the character to the mystical laws of give and take, balance and retribution. Misuse or abuse of these contracts can lead to dire consequences. Pledges. Pledges are solemn vows that changelings make with each other or sometimes with non-Fey entities. These are deeply binding promises imbued with the magic of the Fey, creating a bond that grants both parties various boons or imposes sanctions for breaking the vow. Pledges can range from simple promises of friendship to complex oaths of fealty or protection. Breaking a pledge is not taken lightly in the Changeling society. It can lead to a loss of trust, honor, and magical penalties. The pledge system reinforces the themes of trust, honor, and the power of one's word in the Changeling society. Crafting a pledge requires careful thought and consideration of its implications and potential consequences, both good and bad. Contracts and pledges are more than just game mechanics. They're integral to the storytelling in Changeling the Lost, embodying the themes of power and responsibility, trust and consequence. As a changeling, navigating these agreements is crucial, balancing the allure of power with the weight of your word and the binding nature of magical oaths. These elements bring a profound depth to gameplay, challenging players not only tactically but morally and ethically, enriching the narrative tapestry of our shared story. As we continue exploring the Changeling character sheet, let's focus on 3 crucial resources that define your character's resilience, determination, and magical essence: health, willpower, and glamour. Health. Health represents your character's physical well-being and capacity to withstand injury. Think of it as a measure of how much damage your character can take before becoming incapacitated or worse. Damage in Changeling can be of different types, such as bashing, lethal, or aggravated. Each type affects your health differently, reflecting the severity of the injuries. Maintaining your health is crucial. Serious injuries not only pose risk to your character's life, but can also have significant impacts on the story, affecting your character's actions and decisions. Willpower. Willpower reflects your character's mental and emotional resilience. It's a resource that can be spent to improve the odds of success in challenging tasks or to resist mental and emotional manipulation. Think of willpower as the inner strength to push through adversity or to stand firm against daunting odds. It's a testament to your character's grit, determination, and personal drive. Willpower can be a deciding factor in pivotal moments, either by turning a near miss into a success or by enabling your character to resist a powerful compulsion. Glamour. Glamour is akin to mana in other fantasy games. It is the magical essence that fuels your character's supernatural abilities, particularly their contracts. This magical energy is derived from the emotions and dreams of mortals. Changelings replenish their glamour by engaging with the emotions of others, an act that represents their deep connection to the human experience and their magical heritage. Managing this resource effectively is essential to harness the full potential of your character's Fey powers. The management and use of glamour reveal much about your character's nature, and their approach to both the mortal world and the enchanted realm of the Fey. It's a delicate balance, central to the thematic heart of the game. Health, willpower, and glamour aren't just abstract concepts. They are tangible aspects of your character's existence in the game world. They dictate how you will interact with the story, overcome challenges, and engage with the world around you. Understanding and managing these resources are key to crafting a compelling narrative and ensuring your character's growth and survival. In Changeling, 2 more pivotal aspects on the character sheet that deeply influence gameplay and narrative are the Weird rating and the Clarity rating. Understanding these ratings will give you a fuller grasp of your character's place in the Changeling world and their mental and emotional state. Weird rating. The Weird rating symbolizes the strength of a Changeling's connection to the Fey realm and their own Fey nature. It can be thought of as a measure of their magical potency and the depth of connection to the powers of the dreaming. A higher Weird rating means more potent magical abilities, greater capacity to store glamour, and a stronger influence over the world's magical weave. However, it also signifies a deeper entanglement with the often perilous and unpredictable nature of Fey magic. The Weird rating shapes how your character interacts with the magical aspects of the world, impacting everything from the effectiveness of their contracts to their interaction with other supernatural beings. It's a double-edged sword, offering power at the potential cost of stability and safety. Clarity rating. Clarity, on the other hand, represents a changeling's grip on reality, their ability to discern the true nature of the world around them, distinguishing illusion from reality, and maintaining their sanity amidst the chaos of their dual existence. This rating fluctuates more than weird, affected by the traumatic experiences encounters with the surreal and uncanny, or revelations that shake a character's understanding of the world. It's a barometer of your character's mental and emotional health. Maintaining clarity is crucial. A loss of clarity can lead to confusion, misinterpretation of events, and even hallucinations, profoundly affecting how your character perceives and interacts with the world. It's a narrative tool that drives home the fragile balance changelings must maintain between their human lives and their fey natures. Weird and clarity are central to understanding your character's journey in Changeling. While weird governs the scope and strength of your character's magical abilities, clarity defines their perception of reality and resilience against mental and emotional trials of being Changeling. Balancing these ratings is key to navigating the complex world of the Lost, striking a balance between power and sanity, enchantment and understanding. We've covered the core elements of the Changeling character sheet, including attributes, skills, seemings, and various essential ratings like weird and clarity. However, there are a few additional pieces of information on the sheet that are crucial for a complete understanding of your character's capabilities, background, and the subtler nuances of gameplay. These details might seem minor, but often play a significant role in defining your character's unique story and how they interact with the world of the Lost. Let's delve into these finer points to round out our comprehensive view of what makes each Changeling character truly distinctive. Seeming blessing and seeming curse are integral aspects of a Changeling's identity in Changeling, reflecting the dual nature of their fey existence. The seeming blessing grants a unique abilities or bonuses, symbolizing the inherent magical talents or advantages a Changeling gains from their seeming. In contrast, the seeming curse represents the inherent drawbacks or challenges associated with their fey nature, often manifesting as vulnerabilities or societal challenges tied to their seeming. Size represents the physical dimensions of a character, typically reflecting a human scale with an average size of 5. This attribute not only affects a character's physical presence and health capacity, but also plays a role in certain mechanical calculations, like determining resistance in combat or the effectiveness of certain powers. Defense is a key statistic that represents a character's ability to avoid physical harm, typically calculated as the lower of dexterity or wits. It acts as a direct subtractor to an attacker's dice pool in combat situations, reflecting a character's agility, awareness, and overall ability to evade or mitigate incoming attacks. Initiative modifier quantifies a character's reflexes and alertness in determining their reaction speed during combat or tense situations. It's typically calculated by adding together a character's dexterity and composure, indicating how quickly they can assess and respond to threats or dynamic events. Speed represents how quickly a character can move, calculated as a sum of their strength plus dexterity plus 5, representing an average human walking speed. This stat determines how far a character can move in a single turn during physical encounters, impacting their ability to engage or withdraw from combat and navigate their environment. Armor serves as a protective measure, reducing the amount of damage a character takes from physical attacks. It's typically divided into two categories: general armor, which reduces all physical damage, and ballistic armor, specifically mitigating damage from gunfire and similar attacks, illustrating the character's ability to withstand various forms of harm. Experience points are a measure of a character's growth and progression, earned through gameplay and significant story developments. These points can be spent to improve or acquire new abilities, attributes, and other character enhancements, reflecting the character's evolving skills and knowledge over the course of their journey. In sum, these additional details on the character sheet, size, defense, initiative modifier, speed, armor, and experience points, may seem like small components in the grand scheme of your Changeling story. However, they collectively play a vital role in shaping your character's interactions, effectiveness in various situations, and their overall journey within the Chronicle. Each element contributes to the richness and depth of gameplay, ensuring that every action, decision, and encounter is part of a uniquely crafted narrative tapestry. In the Mind's Eye Theater system, resolving actions, whether they're diplomatic conversations, stealthy pursuits, or the heat of combat, is streamlined and intuitive. Let's walk through the basic steps for a test resolution, which you'll use frequently during gameplay. First, state the action. First, the player states what their character is attempting to do. This action can range from trying to persuade someone, searching for a hidden object, to attacking an adversary. The clarity of the action helps in determining how it should be resolved. Determine applicable traits. Next, you'll need to figure out which combination of attributes and skills apply to the action. For example, if you're trying to hide in a shadowy corner, your dexterity and stealth would likely come into play. Calculate the dice pool. Once you've identified the relative traits, add their values together. This total is your dice pool for the test. For instance, if your character has a 3 in dex and a 2 in stealth, your dice pool would be 5. Understand the difficulty. Your storyteller will set the difficulty of the action by modifying your test pool, either subtracting from or adding to your test pool. This reflects how hard it is to achieve your goal. Determine your pull. Instead of rolling dice, you will draw a card from a deck of cards numbered 1 through 10. Add the number on the card to your test pool. This card draw represents the randomness and chance involved in the outcome of your action. Alternately, you could roll a single 10-sided die instead of drawing cards. Many players opt to use a dice rolling app on their phone, such as Mighty Dice. Count successes and interpret the outcome. Total your successes by adding the number you drew or rolled and adding it to your dice pool. From this number, we will calculate the number of successes for your attempted action. In Mind's Eye Theater, calculating successes for your actions typically relies on drawing cards and adding those values to your dice pool. However, in our Lost and Found Radio Hour Chronicle, we've tweaked these rules to fit our own unique game style and pace. Standard rules as written. Normally, you would achieve your first success with a total of 10 or more from your dice pool and card draw. After that, each additional set of 5 points above 10 grants another success. So traditionally, a total of 15 would equal 2 successes, 20 would equal 3 successes, and so on. Lost and Found Radio Hour Custom Rule. For our Chronicle, we are adjusting this to make the game more dynamic and give more room for your character actions to succeed. Here, your first success is achieved at just 8 points total. Furthermore, every 3 points above 8 is an additional success. So in our game, a total of 11 equals 2 successes, 14 equals 3 successes, and so forth. This modification in calculating successes is designed to enhance the flow of the game and amplify the impact of each character's actions. It allows for a more frequent sense of achievement and progression, mirroring the more rapid-paced and intense narrative we aim to build in the Lost and Found Radio Hour. Remember, the thrill of LARPing in the world of darkness comes from not just following the rules, but adapting them to suit the story we're all creating together. Our custom rule aims to capture this spirit, ensuring that each action and decision carries weight and contributes meaningfully to our shared narrative journey. As we draw closer to the end of our time here, I'm sure many of you are eager to learn how you can join our exciting Changeling the Lost Chronicle, the Lost and Found Radio Hour. Let me guide you through the simple steps to become part of our storytelling adventure. Discord server. The first and perhaps most engaging way to join us is through our dedicated Discord server. Here you'll find a community of players and storytellers as well as all the resources you need. You can scan this QR code right now to join our Discord server instantly, or look for the link in the description below. If you prefer a more direct line of communication or have specific questions, feel free to email us. Our email address is lost@lifeworthdreaming.com. We're always ready to help newcomers and answer any questions you might have. For a comprehensive understanding of our Chronicle, including schedules, character creation guidelines, and more, our website is the place to go. You can scan this QR code or visit our website, or click the link in the description below. On both our Discord server and our website, you'll find our venue style sheet, or VSS. This crucial document includes world setting and background story. Get immersed in the rich, detailed setting and backstory we've created for our Chronicle. Rules addendum. Here we outline the rules, which rules are standard, and any optional rules we're incorporating. For instance, remembered our modified success calculation? That's in there too. The VSS is your go-to resource for understanding the specifics of our game, ensuring you're well prepared for the adventures ahead. Joining the Lost and Found Radio Hour means becoming part of a collaborative, imaginative, and dynamic storytelling experience. Whether you're new to LARPing or a seasoned player, our community and game setting offer a welcoming and enriching environment for all. Don't wait to embark on this journey of mystery, transformation, and discovery. Scan the QR code, send us an email, or visit our website today and step into the world of the Lost and Found Radio Hour. We can't wait to see the character you'll bring to life.